Do you have lemongrass growing in your backyard? If you live in Houston, Texas, and you are looking for a plant that is beautiful, easy to grow, useful in the kitchen, and can come back year after year, lemongrass might be the perfect plant for you. Look at this beautiful lemongrass in my backyard. This bundle has been growing in this spot for several years, and every year it keeps coming back stronger. I use lemongrass in many ways. I make tea, cook delicious dishes, and I also grow it around my garden because it helps create a more enjoyable outdoor environment. Today, I want to share with you why I think lemongrass is such a valuable plant for a backyard garden, especially here in Houston, Texas. Lemongrass is actually one of the easiest plants I grow in my backyard. This bundle of lemongrass has been growing here for several years. Once it gets established, it becomes a beautiful large clump with long, graceful green leaves that move gently in the breeze. At the end of December, when frost starts coming to Houston, I just harvest some of lemongrass before freezing temperatures arrive. I harvest some stems with roots attached for replanting. I also cut the top part of the long leaves. I put the stems into a plastic bag and store them in the refrigerator until early March for planting. When spring arrives, I can simply take them out and plant them directly into the ground. They grow into new lemongrass plants. The original lemongrass roots that remain in my garden usually survive and start growing again when warm weather returns. If you live somewhere with a much colder winter, your lemongrass roots may not survive freezing temperatures, but you can use this simple method. Before the first hard freeze, dig up some lemongrass with the roots attached. Cut off the long leaves. Store the stems in a plastic bag in the refrigerator. Replant them directly in the ground when spring arrives. Lemongrass is very forgiving, and many gardeners are surprised by how easy it is to restart new plants. Besides being useful for cooking, another reason I love growing lemongrass is because of its wonderful fragrance. Lemongrass contains citronella compounds. Did I say the word right? Citronella, which are commonly used in mosquito-repelling products. I grow lemongrass in several places around my backyard, along with other herbs such as basil, rosemary, oregano, mint, and lemon balm. Here in Houston, mosquitoes are usually not as active during the hottest part of the afternoon, but they become much more noticeable in the early morning and late evening. Because I have many fragrant herbs growing around my garden and patio, I feel like I have fewer mosquito problems when I spend time outside. For example, when I sit on my patio in the evening, I can enjoy my garden much more comfortably. Of course, lemongrass is not a guarantee that mosquitoes will disappear completely, but growing fragrant plants around your outdoor space can make your garden a much more pleasant place to relax. One of my favorite ways to use fresh lemongrass is making lemongrass ginger tea. It is very simple. I take tender lemongrass stems, chop them into small pieces, and fresh minced ginger, and pour boiling water over them. Then I let it steep for about 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. Or I just leave the lemongrass and the minced ginger in my tea. I can sip the tea throughout the afternoon. The aroma is amazing. The fresh citrus smell from lemongrass combined with the warm fragrance of ginger makes the whole house smell wonderful. Whenever guests visit, they always notice the smell and ask, "What are you making? It smells so good." Besides tasting delicious, many people enjoy lemongrass tea as a relaxing herbal drink. Lemongrass is also amazing in cooking. One of my favorite dishes is lemongrass catfish soup. I usually use canned chopped tomatoes, water or broth, fresh lemongrass stems, chopped celery, chopped white onion, scallions, seasonings and spices, fresh canned fish pieces, cilantro on top. First, I boil the ingredients together to let all the flavors combine. Then I add the catfish and simmer for about 10 minutes. The result is amazing. The catfish becomes tender and creamy, and the lemongrass gives a soup a fresh citrus flavor. There are so many other ways you can use lemongrass. You can use lemongrass stalks as skewers for shrimp or chicken before grilling, and chopped lemongrass or to chicken marmalades. Use it in curry dishes, and eat it to stir fries. Make Vietnamese-style noodles dishes, and eat it to seafood recipes. Use it in rice dishes for extra fragrance. Combine it with garlic, ginger, chili, and soy sauce for flavorful marmalades. The possibilities are endless. For me, lemongrass represents everything I love about gardening. You plant it once and you continue giving back year after year. It is easy to grow, beautiful in the garden, useful in cooking, great for homemade tea, a wonderful fragrant plant, no maintenance. You don't need a huge garden. Even 1 or 2 plants in a pot can provide fresh lemongrass for your family. Growing your own food is not only saving money, it is about creating a connection with nature and enjoy simple pleasures. There's something special about walking into your backyard, cutting fresh lemongrass, making a cup of tea, or cooking a meal using something you grew yourself. If you live in Houston, Texas, or a similar warm climate, I highly recommend giving lemongrass a try. Do you already grow lemongrass in your garden? What is your favorite way to use it? Tea, cooking, or something else? I would love to hear your ideas in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspires you to grow something useful and beautiful in your own backyard. Have a wonderful day. Happy gardening!